Hi guys, and welcome to week 3 at Zwift Academy. So before we get started, please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. There's going to be another 6 episodes to come, so you don't want to miss them, and there's also 2 that I've already done, so yeah, go back and watch them if you haven't seen them already. So this week we're going to start out with a workout. I'll talk more about that over the video rather than introduce it now. And then we're doing the first race, so I'm doing the race on Saturday. It's currently Thursday when I'm filming this first workout. So yeah, we're entering the race as Cat B. I'll talk more about that over the race footage as well. And then finally we'll have a little look at Zwift Power just so we can get the results of the race, see how it did. Alright, so let's get on with the workout. So this is workout 2 of Zwift Academy 2020. And this one's called Sprint Profile. So a bit of the blurb, basically without reading it all out, we're going to be doing the 10 and 20 second sprint test essentially. So we start off by doing 3 sub-maximal 6-second sprints, then we do a maximal 6-second sprint, then a maximal 10-second, and finally a maximal 20-second sprint. Loads of rest between, which is really good. So yeah, it starts off with the normal warm-up, and then you do 3 minutes around FTP, one just below, one at, and one just above. That's all part of the warm-up. And then you dive into a 7-minute rest at 145 watts. Which is really nice. And then after you've done your warm-up and your rest period, you're into these 30-10-30s, and these are actually quite badly explained, I think, in the text on the screen, and there were loads of people in the chat really confused by this. So these are all done under free ride, so no erg mode, because you're supposed to be putting efforts in. So the 30-second to begin with is so you can find your gear that you want to use for the sprint and kind of just get your cadence ready to, so have a low cadence ready so you can speed up and put in your maximal effort. Then there's 10-second free ride. So this is where they're actually capturing your 6-second sprint efforts. So basically go as hard as you can, although the first 3 are supposed to be sub-maximal. For them 10 seconds, and then you have another 30-second free ride, and these are just to kind of recover. I think the reason you have a free ride in there to recover before the next rest period is so you can still star that section, because you might drop down to say 50 watts because you're so tired, and it doesn't matter because it's just a little recovery session. And then you have 3 minutes of recovery at 145 watt between these first 4 efforts. And basically you repeat that 3 more times. The next 2 are sub-maximal, and the final one should be maximal. So we'll just play through those now. I kind of hit the same effort in each one. I'm not a great sprinter, I know this already. But yeah, this workout's quite nice actually, because you feel like you're putting in lots of effort, but it's not difficult, I don't think. There's so much rest between each effort. Okay, so then there's a 5-minute rest after the 4th 6-second effort. And after that rest period, the next one's a 10-second effort, but you still only have 10 seconds to do it, so you kind of need to start before you enter the arch for that 10-second effort. You need to start putting power down. So that's what I do here. So just before I spin up, so I'm kind of where I want to be for the start, and that's done for 10 seconds. You can see it looks pretty painful, but the rest periods really do help. And then finally for the 20-second effort, it's the same as the 10-second. You need to start just before the arch because you only get 20 seconds to do your 20-second effort. 20 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're doing this, it is quite painful. I'm not even looking at the screen at this point, I'm just, yeah, all out. Okay, so as you can see on my face, I'm pretty tired by this point, but there's just 30-second free ride to recover a little bit, and then 7-minute cooldown. So yeah, it's really quite an easy workout. You have to put the efforts in, but it's not a challenging workout like the previous one was, and anyone can do this workout. Okay, so that's it for the workout, so let's move on now to the race. Okay, so we're in the race now, we're just in the pen, warming up.
Someone in the comments actually recommended I started wearing a sweatband, and I do wear a sweatband for some of my workouts, so I thought, well, I'll give it a go for this. But it does come off after about the first lap because I just get too hot wearing it. So yeah, as always, I pretty much know how these races start now. I put in loads of power and just keep near the front, and I do pretty well. For the first 2/3 of the lap maybe, I stay at the front, sort of in the front 50, and I'm just kind of hovering around there, and I'm just trying to stay in that sort of position. So to give a bit of an overview of the lap, it's basically flat for about half the lap, then you descend, then you do about another quarter of the lap, then there's 2 punchy climbs, and then there's 1 sort of long steady climb to the finish, and we're doing that 3 times. So yeah, we're doing pretty well at this point, staying towards the front of the group. So this is about halfway through the flat section at the beginning now. Okay, so yeah, still top 50 as we go into the first climb, and then this is where it all starts going away from me. Just like it did in the last race I did that had a punchy climb on it, I just basically start going backwards. And yeah, everyone's getting away from me, and without having other people near me, then yeah, I'm just on my own pretty much, and this sets the tone for what happens for the rest of the race really. So yeah, by the time I'm at the end of the first climb, I've dropped down to around 90th place, and then the second climb is even steeper. This is quite difficult, I think, actually, and yeah, everyone's just flying past me, trying getting out of the saddle, but it doesn't really help me. So at this point I'm feeling pretty demotivated. By the time I get to this, I'm well into the 90s. On the final sort of climb back up to the start finish, I managed to do decent on that climb, and I managed to catch this group. And as soon as I've caught this group, that just sort of saves the race for me, because I can kind of stay with them on the flat bits, because I'm decent on the flat. I can keep with the group on the flat. It's just the climbs that are letting me down. So yeah, well, as soon as I find this group, you can see my effort level has just dropped significantly, and yeah, I'm keeping the same speed. So this group just saves my life basically, and we stick together pretty much to the end of the race. Just all working together. It's yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, zooming on a bit, you can see here we're still on the flat, but we're just working together, and look at my effort levels compared to before. It's just so much easier when you're riding in a group. Okay, and then the first punchy climb, I do okay. We pretty much stick together up this climb. So yeah, it's not too bad at all really. They get away a little bit, but yeah, we're pretty much together. And then on the steep bit, again, they get away a little bit, but still, we stick together quite well. So yeah, as we get close to the top, we're kind of, I'm dropping back a little bit, but I'm not too worried at this point. So yeah, on that final climb up to the start finish, I'm not bad for some reason on that climb. I think other people are letting off more on that climb because they're pretty fatigued, and maybe because I'm not pushing as hard as I should be doing on them other 2, I'm able to push a bit harder than other people. So yeah, I'm able to catch up with that same group up that final start finish climb, and then we can stick together for the next lap, which is a godsend. So yeah, third lap, final lap is pretty much same again, sticking together on the flats in this same group. So look how low my effort is, it's crazy. Then first climb, again, they kind of get away from me. I'm feeling pretty fatigued at this point. This is the longest race that I've ever done. Whether I'm B or C, I'm not quite sure. I'm just into B for a race this long, I think. So yeah, I'm still sort of around that 90th position that I've been hovering on. I've got the feather at this point, so I use it up this steep climb because I feel like that's when I'll gain the most from it. And I think it made my life easier. I think I didn't gain any positions by using it, but I think if I hadn't have used it, I would have lost some. Then at this point, I get the draft boost, and but I'm a bit of an idiot at this point because I've dropped back from the people that I was behind. I'm thinking, well, there's no point having the draft boost if I'm on my own, so I use it just in case it'll give me anything. And this is the stupidest thing that I've done, because in reality I'm not going to catch that group up, but the group behind me is going to catch me up, so I should have saved the draft boost. So yeah, the group behind does catch me up and they do tow me home. And this is kind of like when I should have been using the draft boost as we started to separate on the start finish climb, because the start finish climb is shallow enough for draft to be of benefit. And I think if I'd have used that, I would have at least got past this guy in front of me, because at the end, the video goes off for some reason, I'm not sure why, but at the end I sprint to the finish. Maybe I leave the sprint a little bit late, I don't know, but I don't feel like I could have done any more. And yeah, I get close to that guy in front. I really do start reeling him in. He's getting closer and closer, and if I'd have just have had that draft boost to keep up closer to him before the finish line, then I think I could have done a little bit better. But yeah, that's the race. So in Zwift results, 91st. Let's switch over to Zwift Power now and look at the real results. So one thing I forgot to mention is at the end of the race, it said my FTP is increased to 280 watts, which to be honest is more what I was expecting. And a few people have speculated that the ramp test wasn't that accurate for me. So I'm probably going to roll with 280 watts as an FTP for the rest of this series. So over to Zwift Power. As you can see, I'm looking at the results here now. Class B, actually I'm just going to refresh them because it's a while since I last looked, just in case anything's changed. And yeah, I didn't do great. I was 77th. Average 3.3 watts per kilogram, so I am just in that Cat B category. So I think I'm racing in the right cat. Yeah, so how many people? 121 people. So yeah, not even in the top half, which is a bit disappointing. So yeah, I think now if I go back to my profile, yeah, it's saying that my minimum category is C, almost B. That's mainly because I've not done many races recently. I think this is done on time or number of races or something, or number of events, and I've not done anything competitively since I did the A race back in July. And back then I was B, almost A, I think. So that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. There's still time to do these week 2 events. Week 2 ends on Thursday, I think, and this will be uploaded on Sunday. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.